Okay, welcome back everybody. We're out on the golf course and it's review time. We'll take a look at the new Callaway full face wedges. So we're going to take a look at these wedges. We're going to talk a lot about technology, what's happening in the wedges. We're going to test it off a few different lies. We're out here at Keswick Golf Club in Cumbria, which is absolutely stunning. It's early morning, it's beautiful out here. There's no better place to be at this time of the day. So we're going to test these wedges, give you a little bit of feedback, and we'll see how they perform. Right, Andrew, so new full face wedges from Callaway. What's your first impressions? You're a bit of a Callaway man.
Yeah.
First glance at the wedge, first instinct?
First instinct, much more attractive than the previous models. For me personally, I really like the way the sole interacts with the ground. The face obviously will go rusty. You can sort of start to see it just changing a little bit now.
Yes, it's a raw face. So it's the first time Callaway have done a raw face.
Great feel. I mean, really, it feels great.
I think this is replacing the PM grind wedge, which I always felt was a little bit, you either liked it or you didn't. It was a bit of a quirky look. It obviously performed well, but I think the leading edge on the PM grind was very rounded, a lot of offset. This is probably going to suit a look that will be a bit more suited to the wider audience, I would say.
Definitely a nice straight edge there, so you can sit that behind the ball nice square. I also think you can use the bounce on it a little bit by opening the club up, and the heel relief's really nice on it. No, I really quite encouraged by how that looks and how it feels, and the feels in the testing. The flight's great off it, nice low spinny flight. Yeah,
so that's what they call a toe pad there, which bulks out the top back edge of the wedge there. That's pulling that weight up, and what you'll notice in the ports at the back, there's more sort of taken out of the heel one and less in the toe, so that's moving that centre of gravity more out into the middle of the club away from the hosel. A little bit higher up in the face. Those strikes slightly low, like you mentioned, they'll come out a little bit lower with a little bit more grip on it.
No, it definitely grips up.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about what's happening in this full toe wedge from Callaway. So we've got that weight pad, as we just talked about earlier, that's moving high up into that toe. Obviously that's going to pull centre of gravity higher in the club face, so if you strike it below, it's going to generally promote like a little bit of a lower flight with an increased spin. You know, we always know when we strike it below that centre of gravity, we're going to increase that spin a little bit. Massive talking point, obviously the face. It's a raw face, first time Callaway have done a raw club face, so that will rust. That's going to create surface thickness. Obviously we've got the jaws wedges, then we've got groove technology, which are slightly tilted, so when you open the club face, those little grooves are now more perpendicular to the ball strike as you open the face, and maybe working that wedge a little bit across the golf ball. So again, it's all about trying to get as much grip and spin on that golf ball as possible. So we've also got a variable port thickness. So on the back, you notice you've got those 4 little holes in the back of the actual club head. So what you'll notice is the one in the heel is actually a deeper port than the ones in the toe, so they gradually get less depth in those ports as you work towards the toe. So obviously taking more weight out of the heel, reposition it into the toe of the actual wedge itself. Again, that's pulling that centre of gravity away from that hosel more central. So that creates a little bit more consistency on that ball speed, the spin, especially on those fuller shots. So all these full face wedges come in a C grind, so a little bit more of that heel and toe relief. So we've still got some bounce on there, a little bit more bounce than maybe what we've seen in the PM grind. So typically around that sort of 10 to 12 degree, depending on the loft. So obviously working well out of those bunkers. We all know bounce is our friend, but obviously got that heel and toe release. So if you're going to start opening that blade up a little bit more, then the leading edge doesn't jump off away from the ground. So you still get that tight sort of sitting of that leading edge to the ground and those sort of tight lies in and around the green. So availability wise in these wedges, we've got a 54, 56, 58, 60 and also a 64, true Phil Mickelson style. So They're available in both the chrome and the black finish, both right and left-handed, so loads of options to go at. So the real differences between this and the PM grind is it's much more of a traditional wedge look. Yes, there's a little bit of that higher tone compared to previous Jaws wedges, but it's a great looking club. That leading edge isn't as sort of rounded, there isn't as much offset, it's a little bit more of a straighter leading edge. It sits much better. And you know, I think the personal views of those grooves going into the toe, I don't mind it all. Some people like it, some won't. I think it's a good advantage. You know, if you open that blade up, you got that sort of fluffier lie. It's very easy to get under it and hit that high toe. So that weight up there, the grooves all the way to the edges, the roughness of the club face, it's all about just getting that grip on those slight mishits. Okay, so there we go. There's a review of the new Jaws full face wedges. Post your comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on those wedges. That's something you're going to go and test yourselves. I'm quite a big fan of those. They look really good. They sit really good. They feel superb. They definitely give you that little bit, that lower, spinnier sort of shot. I mean, today's been quite a good test really, because it's early morning, it's quite dewy, so there's a lot of dampness between the club face and the golf ball. We all know that that doesn't sort of equate to creating as much spin, but they've still got some grip on those shots that we hit into the flag. So there's a confidence you're going to get that spin on those shots that you sort of, when you really need them on that golf course. Appreciate you watching the video as always. Hope you enjoyed the footage here at the beautiful Keswick Golf Club. If you ever get the chance, you're passing up in the lakes, definitely going to come and give it a visit. It's a little hidden gem here. The views are absolutely breathtaking, so make sure you come and have a game. Okay, appreciate you watching the video as always, and hopefully we'll catch you all very soon.